Hello and a very warm welcome to Game On. I'm Neha Bharadwaj-Alter, and two teams now have already qualified for the playoffs in this IPL 2024, Kolkata Knight Riders and Rajasthan Royals. Realistically, three teams will have to fight it out for the remaining two spots between CSK, Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore. Lucknow and DC are still in mathematically, but only a miracle can put them in the top four. Lucknow Super Giants and their captain have been in the news after a heated discussion between the owner Sanjeev Goenka and KL Rahul. They were caught on camera after they lost to Sunrisers Hyderabad. It was like a heated discussion that was going on. While there has been much discussion on whether it was right for the owner to talk like that in public to the captain of his franchise, there is no denying that the team has been disappointing this season. So, what went wrong with LSG? Needing to win both their last two games, Lucknow Super Giants are all but ruled out of the playoffs after losing to the Delhi Capitals last night. This marks the first time in their three-year existence that LSG will not make the playoffs. In their debut season, LSG finished at third on the points table and then were knocked out by RCB in the eliminator. The following year, in 2023, LSG again ended up at third place heading into the playoffs, where they were beaten in the eliminator again, this time to Mumbai Indians. This year, LSG did well enough to stay in the top four for some time, but a few big losses and an outdated approach to the power plays meant that with time, the franchise slipped too far down the points table. Overall, after 13 games, LSG have a power play strike rate of 8.28, which is the second worst after Gujarat Titans at 7.72 runs per over, and far behind the pace setters of the IPL in Sunrisers Hyderabad, who scored at 11.6 an over. And then there is Delhi Capitals at 10.6. The best score that LSG managed all season after the 6-over mark was 59, which came ironically in their second last match of the competition. The lowest was 27 against Sunrisers Hyderabad in the same match in which the Sunrisers Hyderabad openers smashed 107 runs in their power play. LSG skipper KL Rahul's strike rate in the power play this year is 131, and he has faced 81 dot balls during the first 6 overs, with 25 fours and 11 sixes. South African batter Quinton de Kock opened in 11 of LSG's 13 matches. He's got a batting strike rate of 133.65. These slow starts have left plenty for the middle order to do, and from that perspective, the batting returns of Nicholas Pooran must be viewed with perspective. Pooran has 424 runs at a strike rate of almost 169. But has not been pushed higher than number 4, whereas a crisp hitter like Ayush Badoni was floated up and down the order with average returns. LSG also spent plenty of time figuring out who to bat at one down. Devdutt Padikkal played 6 matches and averaged 6.33 with a strike rate of 73, and a big hitter of West Indies, Kyle Mayers, his skill, with his skill, he warmed the bench all season, even as de Kock averages 22 with a strike rate of 134. Now, let's talk about their bowling. An underwhelming season for LSG strike spinner Ravi Bishnoi was unexpected. Bishnoi managed just 8 wickets from 13 matches and has an economy rate of 8.72, of which 6 came at the Ikana Stadium in Lucknow at 8.13 per over. And the other spinners, Krunal Pandya and Amit Mishra, were also not convincing. Regarding the pace attack, the arrival of Mayank Yadav was a massive slice of good fortune for Lucknow Super Giants, as the pacer clocked over 150 kilometers per hour while taking 6 wickets in his first 2 games before he was sidelined with injury. Mayank bowled a mere 12.1 overs across 4 games, which indicates how the franchise will have to handle him in the future. Naveen-ul Haq and Yash Thakur have 12 and 11 wickets respectively, but an expensive economy rate of 9.90 and 11.32. And Mohsin Khan has gone at 10 per over. Clearly a case of not enough wicket takers, which has not helped LSG at all. Then there is the matter of KL Rahul's captaincy, which lacked a killer instinct. The chopping and changing also reflected poorly on the Indian batter, who did not turn to a proven performer for LSG such as Mayers and gave limited opportunities to Matt Henry and Shamar Joseph. Not to mention the lack of intent from Rahul, the senior pro opener in the side. The addition of former Australian opener turned coach Justin Langer did also not really bring desired outcomes, which further throws light on Rahul's role given he's been with LSG since its inception. Perhaps then, more than any individual performances of team efforts, the abiding image of LSG's campaign in IPL 2024 might end up being the visuals of team owner Sanjeev Goenka having a heated argument with Rahul after his franchise was walloped by Sunrisers Hyderabad inside 10 overs. Ahead of the mega auction, we can probably expect some significant changes at LSG. Okay, with that, we're going to slip into a short break. When we return, sports news continues on the other side.
You were the chosen one to direct Mr. Bachchan for his first endorsement, for his first appearance on the small screen.
It was a life-changing moment.
So have you been a rebel with a cause?
There was a sense of responsibility, there was a sense of frustration.
Are you worried about cancel culture?
You tell a story with a fierce psychosis, you're gonna spoil it anyway.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है मनी 9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
Has Allu Arjun arrived or he's just taking off?
If I really want to hit a moonshot, I want the moon.
These are big stories.
It's very unique to Indian cinema.
What would be the relevance of tradition?
I would believe that the first change has to come in the mind.
World premiere on the 18th of May only on News 9 Live at 9 p.m.
Welcome back. Let's set up the game that is coming up tonight for you. It's a stuttering Rajasthan Royals who may have qualified for the playoffs but will want to change their current losing streak of 3 back-to-back games at their second home in Guwahati. They will face Punjab Kings, who've been eliminated from the competition but can beat the best team on their day. Take a look at this. Playing at Guwahati, their second home venue, the Royals will aim to get their campaign back on track. After 8 wins in their first 9 outings, Royals have suffered straight losses in their last 3 matches. Riyan Parag will feel at home in Guwahati, having lit up the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy for Assam earlier this year, scoring 750s in a row. 3 points shy of table toppers Kolkata Knight Riders, the Sanju Samson-led side has already secured a place in the last 4. With 2 matches in hand, a win today will keep RR in hunt for a top 2 finish, with the possibility of emerging right at the top with 2 back-to-back wins. Punjab Kings have nothing to lose. With 8 points from 4 wins in 12 matches, the IPL team from Mohali is languishing at the bottom of the table. They will like to avoid the humiliation of ending up last. With 2 more games to go, Punjab Kings can still rise up to the 6th position if the results in other games also support them. Guwahati has been Royals' second home base, and it appears a strategic move by the franchise after having invested a good 6 years in tapping Parag's potential. Parag's homecoming this year is special. His 483 runs at a strike rate of 153 at number 4 have simply been outstanding. Parag is already in the top 6 when it comes to the race for the purple cap. Rajasthan Royals' next match against Kolkata Knight Riders, also at Guwahati next Saturday, can effectively become the battle for the number 1 position. That'll also be the last league match of the season. Skipper Sanju Samson is leading the batting from the front as the Royals chase their second IPL title. Samson, with 486 runs in 12 innings, has been the top scorer for his side. RR will be looking for more consistency from their leading bowlers Yuzvendra Chahal and Trent Boult. The seasoned duo have taken 12 and 11 wickets respectively from 12 games so far. Bolt has also been economical, conceding 8.32 runs per over. Avish Khan too has 11 wickets in 12 matches, although he's been giving nearly 10 runs per over. But it is the Punjab pacer Sandeep Sharma who's performed for the Royals without failure. In 7 matches, Sandeep has bagged 10 wickets at 8.07 per over. Punjab Kings have unearthed 2 brilliant players in Shashank Singh and Ashutosh Sharma. Shashank has been the leading run getter for Punjab with 352 from 12 innings. His 168.42 strike rate has enabled the Punjab team to overcome many a crisis situations. Ashutosh has 170 runs against his name from 7 innings at 171.71. Skipper Shikhar Dhawan's absence due to injury for the better part of the season made matters worse, as his stand-in Sam Curran didn't exactly look the part. While Dhawan's got 152 runs in 5 innings, Curran has just 207 in 11 at a strike rate of 160.29. Even in team's poor run through the tournament, Punjab Kings bowling has gelled well as a unit. Harshal Patel has been the joint highest wicket taker of the tournament, with Jasprit Bumrah having taken 20 wickets each. Arshdeep Singh is warming up well for the T20 World Cup, but the team may miss Kagiso Rabada and Liam Livingstone, who have returned home to tend to niggles before the T20 World Cup next month. That's not all. The biggest question for Rajasthan Royals and a worry for them is Jos Buttler and who will replace him. Now, the IPL is all but over for Delhi Capitals and Lucknow Super Giants, who played out an engaging match at the Arun Jaitley Stadium in New Delhi yesterday. This was DC's last league match, and they had to win by a big margin to have any chance of making the playoffs, while LSG, with a worse net run rate, had to win their remaining 2 fixtures. DC signed off their league stage campaign by beating LSG by 19 runs, but the margin of defeat has not helped their net run rate, which means that for Rishabh Pant's team to qualify for the playoffs, it will need some improbable results elsewhere. Last night's outcome has knocked out LSG from the Final Four, all but knocked out, I'd say at this point, and leaves their last match against Mumbai Indians as a formality. DC's brightest spark this season, Jake Fraser-McGurk, was out for a duck this time as he tried to hit pacer Arshad Khan into the stands' second ball. But the home team still managed to hit back thanks to Abhishek Porel and Shea Hope, who put on a 92-run partnership. Porel once again rewarded the DC management for opening with him as he scored 58 off 33 balls with 5 fours and 4 sixes, while West Indian Hope contributed 38 off 27 balls, hitting 3 fours and a couple of sixes. Their wickets briefly stemmed Delhi's approach towards a winning total, but a handy 33 from skipper Rishabh Pant back inside after serving a 1-match suspension. And then another clutch innings from Tristan Stubbs helped DC put up a very good score. As he's done all season, South African batter Stubbs showcased brilliant temperament at the death as well as his hitting range. He sped to his 50 off just 22 balls, hitting 3 fours and 4 sixes, to take his overall IPL 2024 tally to 378 runs at a strike rate of nearly 191. DC's total of 208 looked a par score at one stage, but not after Ishant Sharma's 3 wickets reduced LSG to 44 for 4 in quick time. The former India pacer had both LSG openers mistiming shots to Mukesh Kumar in the field, with KL Rahul caught a deep third man and Quinton de Kock at mid-on, and then won an LBW appeal against Deepak Hooda. In between Ishant's second and third overs, Marcus Stoinis was stumped first ball from Akshar Patel. Nicholas Pooran signalled his intentions by hitting his first 5 balls from Akshar for 20 runs and sped to his own half-century in 20 deliveries. But the rising run rate and flow of wickets meant that LSG were always up against it, and once Pooran was dismissed for 61 of 27 balls, the pressure could be seen. Pant called on Stubbs for some part-time off-spin, and the result was immediate as Ayush Badoni tried to hit him into the stands, only to be taken at long off. Kuldeep Yadav once again ran through his overs economically, and despite a scare from Arshad, who smashed his first T20 50, DC were in control of the chase. Arshad displayed proper batting skills as he hit 5 sixes in his 33-ball 58, which helped LSG reduce the margin of defeat to 19 and thus dent DC's playoffs chances further. Now, with 446 runs at a strike rate of 155 this IPL season, it has been a fantastic return to cricket for Rishabh Pant. And some might say to get DC to 5th on the points table is some achievement for the 26-year-old. Less than 15 months from that fateful night in December 2022 when he suffered an accident behind the wheel on a highway from Delhi to Roorkee, Pant was back on the cricket field leading DC. This after Pant had undergone surgery and was left with facial injuries as well as knee injury following the collision, which in his own words left him wondering if he would ever walk, forget playing cricket. So when IPL 2024 began, many cricket fans just wanted to see how Pant would cope on the cricket field. And the result is that his return to cricket has been nothing short of uplifting and hands down the most emotional story of the tournament. Pant played 13 of DC's 14 matches and proved his fitness and agility both in front and behind the stumps. With the bat, his 446 runs are the most for DC and 9th most overall. Pant's 25 sixes were also an indication that his ball striking capabilities had not diminished after 15 months on the sidelines. But perhaps what was most pleasing to see was the fluency of his wicketkeeping and how much fun he had behind the stumps. Always chirpy and alert to situations, Pant ends his IPL campaign as the joint most successful wicketkeeper alongside KL Rahul with 16 dismissals, 11 catches and 5 stumpings, showing why he remains one of the best in the game. Which is why before the IPL began, when BCCI Secretary Jay Shah stated that if Pant was able to prove his fitness, he'd be considered for the T20 World Cup. Sure enough, as the tournament's leading wicketkeeper and his franchise's leading run-getter, Pant has done what was required to make it back to Team India. His leadership of DC left plenty to be desired, given the inconsistency of team selection and the constant overrate issues. But few will hold that against Pant, given he was out of the game for so long. The target was to make a successful return to cricket and prove that he belongs, and in that regards, Pant has emerged with flying colours. Reflecting on his and DC's season after the win over LSG, Pant said, and I quote, "I would say the start of the season was with a lot of hopes, some injuries. We're still in contention even after the last game. We had a better chance of qualifying if I would have had a chance to play in the last game. Personally, it was fantastic to come back. It was heartening to see the support from entire India. It was a long time to wait after 1.5 years. I want to be on the field all the time. Don't want to miss any action." With that, we're going to slip into a short break. When we return just a little bit more, Manchester City are edging closer to another title, a historic 4th, possibly in the Premier League. That and more on the other side.
That ink is a semi-permanent dye called the indelible ink.
We are the sole manufacturer of this indelible ink.
Don't try to repair something which is working.
And if you have facial recognition, you can go vote in any booth anywhere based on where you are, and then it will be recorded that you can't vote anywhere else again.
Can we retire indelible ink and use biometrics? Theoretically, my answer would be yes.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Can the Trinamool candidate from Baharampur hit the ball out of the park?
50-60 दिन बहुत ज़्यादा बोल रहा हूँ, उससे पहले ही काम दिखने स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे.
Pitted opposite Pathan in Team BJP is Dr. Nirmal Kumar Saha.
The fight is not Adit Chaudhary and Nirmal Saha. The fight between Modi versus Rahul Gandhi.
Yusuf Pathan and Nirmal Saha, two professionals who have switched to politics, are taking on Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Can one of the first-time politicians end his winning streak?
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Welcome back. Manchester City are getting closer to creating history. That's right. City beat Tottenham Hotspur and They need just one win for a historic fourth successive Premier League title. This was expected to be a tricky game for the reigning champions who had not won at Tottenham under Pep Guardiola. But they put in another brilliant performance under pressure to go past Arsenal to the top of the points table. Haaland broke the deadlock when he tapped in Kevin De Bruyne's cross 6 minutes after the break. Ortega's heroics then kept City in front as he saved twice from Dejan Kulusevski before denying Son Heung-min when he was clean through. City then doubled the lead in stoppage time to put themselves on the brink of glory. Haaland scoring his 38th goal of the season from the penalty spot after Jeremy Doku was fouled by Pedro Porro. Pep Guardiola's reigning champions will lift the trophy again if they beat West Ham United at Etihad Stadium on Sunday. It was far from a vintage City performance and they almost conceded an equaliser, but they found an unlikely hero in City's deputy goalkeeper Stefan Ortega, who managed to keep Spurs at bay after he replaced Ederson. City is now unbeaten in 22 league games and has again showed it is the master of pacing a title chase. Striker Olivier Giroud has joined MLS outfit Los Angeles FC after announcing that he will leave AC Milan at the end of the current campaign. The French international arrived at the San Siro in July 2021 from Chelsea, and he won the Serie A title in his first season for the club. The 37-year-old and his contract basically expires at the end of the season. He will join LAFC until December 2025. On to boxing, and Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk officially arrived in Riyadh on Tuesday, making their grand arrivals ahead of Saturday's undisputed heavyweight championship of the world title fight. Tensions were raised on Monday after Fury's father headbutted a member of Usyk's entourage in a bloody clash at a media day. Billed as the Ring of Fire, the fight will unify Britain Fury's WBC Heavyweight Championship with the WBA, IBF, WBO and IBO belts held by Ukrainian Usyk. Both are undefeated professionally. The fight was originally meant to happen on 23rd of December last year and then set for Feb 17 before being rescheduled when Fury suffered a cut in sparring. Well, that's it then in sports. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
I don't think anybody has isolated Ajit Dada Pawar. Ajit Dada has isolated himself.
That led to a lot of bad blood between the ruling partners.
It is not true. You know it very well, who these elements are, who these individuals are. And these are the very reasons why you see a division in the party.
Now this contest between Supriya Sule and Sunetra Pawar is really a proxy war between uncle and nephew, and it's being fought in the family bastion of Baramati.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Forever there are simultaneous election of Parliament, Assembly and Municipality and Panchayat. So that framework has to be given in the Constitution. That amendment has been suggested.
Are you going to take away the power of dissolution?
I mean, it doesn't require any rocket science to do.